So my little print room is growing. I was just kind of reminiscing about where we all began with it all. So this was my very first machine right here. And I didn't start out as doing anything for anybody else. So what happened is I was building all these custom titanium exhausts and all. And it was a pain in the butt. Because we want cool X pipes, Y pipes, stuff like that. And I didn't want to spend $500 a fixture, even though the machine shop's my dad's. I love my dad, but I didn't want to spend $500 a fixture to get custom fixtures made for all this, because there was so much custom variety I needed to have to handle the clientele, you know, exotic cars and that sort of stuff. So instead of paying an absorbent amount of money for custom CNC fixtures for my dad, I bought this first machine here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Rapid3D has some amazing marketing, and that's probably the biggest reason I bought it. Because I was doing all my homework and everything, and Prusa's seemed to be great also, with lots of people love the Crealities. But I wanted something a little bit bigger in case something crazy and wild happened. And I wanted to try to do something crazy and wild. And the marketing and all was so freaking amazing on Rapid3D. It really sucked me in that, you know, it did its job. It made me buy it. And I'm really happy I did. The user experience has been amazing with this machine. I only just had to maintain it, where I had to change out a motor coupler back here. And this thing has been running since the day I bought it in June of last year. So anyways, I got that, and it cost a lot of money, $6,500. So I was like, okay, well, this is taking forever to pay back on the credit card. Let me make a couple little tools and see if I can sell them too. Well, people started buying my little tools. And then I was like, well, this thing is slow as heck. I need more, but I really don't have the money, $6,500, to buy another one of these. So what's a cheaper alternative that's reliable? And all my homework said Prusa is the best way to go. I was mainly watching videos like the Out of Darts guy, and you know, it just seemed that everyone who was actually being successful was running a Prusa farm, and everyone who's not making real dollars was running something else. So that's why I chose the Prusa, you know, even though it was whatever it is, $1,000 versus a Creality at $300. It was still a lot cheaper than $6,500. So I bought a Prusa, and I started making all my tools to fit the Prusa bed, and that worked great. And then I got another Prusa, and then another Prusa, and then a few more Prusas, and then I got this idea that maybe I could print an intake manifold or something like that. Go back to printing actual, you know, actually making real race car parts, because at this point I was doing so much 3D printing, I was no longer a fabricator anymore. I was now supplying fabricators with jigs and fixtures, and doing all I could to get out of the deal where I was fabricating exhaust for other people. I did not want to weld anymore. I saw a new route for me. So we started, you know, we worked our way up, and we got this guy right here, because I realized that I couldn't print a flange on this small of a bed, but I could do a plenum. So we got this guy right here, and loads of work to get from that point to this point, but we're now printing intake manifolds. So I've had to do a lot of tricks to make it work. So such as Kira doesn't want to put a what do you want to call it, a brim on this part. If I put a brim on here, it covers up my injector O-ring, or not my injector O-ring, the intake manifold O-ring to the head on the inside. So I put a skirt on there instead, and then I put a minimum skirt length of some absorbent around 1 millimeters, like 20,000 millimeters, so that it creates a brim instead. But then if you do that, and then you create supports on the part, it screws up your quote-unquote brim you've now created for the part. so you're not able to get a good proper bed adhesion anymore. The part peels up and you scrap apart. So what I then noticed is if I manually draw in a brim on the back side where the supports are going to go and they're going to screw up my skirt, quote unquote, brim that I've created, if I manually draw my brim in there, and then that way those supports will print on top of that, and then I can put my skirt settings on there and it no longer screws up the O-ring boss to the head. So I've had to do lots of tricks to figure out how to make this actually work, but I've done the tricks. I've tuned the profiles to a perfection where we are always sealed and always strong and always bed adhered, and I've made it work. And these are expensive machines, but they're not $50,000 Stratus machines. They're not, you know, direct powder laser censoring machines at $250,000. They're not none of that. These are, you can afford these machines. This machine right here, well, the W27 over here, the smaller brother, this is a $6,500 machine, brand new. It's expensive, but it is affordable. You can make it work. This one right here is a $5,000 machine, brand new. The W50 is like $8,500. So, you know, it is possible. You don't need to have a $250,000 CNC mill to produce an in-use race car part anymore in this new day. And we're going to do everything we can to help lead this whole new manufacturing revolution. So it's a little history story and behind the scenes. So I got to finish bed leveling this guy. I just got it repaired. Left head's working again. It was having some issues. And this new one I just picked up. New, it's technically used, but it's new to me. I got to peel off some tape, and I got to set up a dryer for it, and I got to swap a nozzle, and I got to build my custom glass bed for it. And I got a bunch of stuff, but this guy should hopefully be up running tomorrow. And this guy up running tomorrow, and we will officially be double capacity intake manifolds now. That'll be about 2 manifolds a week we're able to print between these 4 machines. So just a little history lesson that just because you're a welder today doesn't mean you're going to be a welder tomorrow or next year. And anyone can learn to do something new. So remember that necessity is the mother of invention. I had a problem, I needed a solution, and this time it wasn't just go hit up the CNC shop